Hello, friends and relatives. Good morning. I want to invite you for another Bible reading. Please join and read with me the words of God in the Holy Bible. I'm going to read 3 chapters today from the book of Joshua, specifically chapters 15 to 17. So we start now on chapter 15. So this was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah, according to their families. The border of Edom, at the wilderness of Zin, southward, was the extreme southern boundary, and their southern border began at the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that faces southward. Then it went out to the southern side of the ascent of Akrabim, passed along to Zin, ascended on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, passed along to Hezron, went up to Adar, and went around to Karkeah. From there it passed toward Asmon and went out to the brook of Egypt, and the border ended at the sea. This shall be your southern border. The east border was the Salt Sea as far as the mouth of the Jordan, and the border on the northern quarter began at the bay of the sea at the mouth of the Jordan. The border went up to Beth Hogla and passed north of Beth Arabah, and the border went up to the stone of Bohan the son of Reuben. Then the border went up toward Debir from the valley of Achor, and it turned northward toward Gilgal, which is before the ascent of Adumim, which is on the south side of the valley. The border continued toward the waters of En-Shemish and ended at En-Rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom to the southern slope of the Jebusite city, which is Jerusalem. The border went up to the top of the mountain that lies before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of Rephaim northward. Then the border went around from the top of the hill to the fountain of the water of Nephtoah, and extended to the cities of Mount Ephron, and the border went around to Beelah, which is Kirjath Jearim. Then the border turned westward from Beelah to Mount Seir, passed along to the side of Mount Jearim on the north, which is Chesalon, went down to Beth Shemesh, and passed on to Timnah. And the border went out to the side of Ekron northward. Then the border went around to Shikron, passed along to Mount Beelah, and extended to Jabneel. And the border ended at the sea. The west border was the coastline of the Great Sea. This is the boundary of the children of Judah all around according to their families. Now to Caleb the son of Jephunneh he gave a share among the children of Judah according to the commandment of the Lord to Joshua, namely Kirjath Arba, which is Hebron. Arba was the father of Anak. Caleb drove out the 3 sons of Anak from there, Shishai, Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. Then he went up from there to the inhabitants of Debir. Formerly the name of Debir was Kirjath Sephir. And Caleb said, He who attacks Kirjath Sephir and takes it, to him I will give Achsah my daughter as wife. So Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Achsah his daughter as wife. Now it was so, when she came to him, that she persuaded him to ask her father to ask her father for a field. So she dismounted from her donkey, and Caleb said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered, "Give me a blessing, since you have given me land in the south. Give me also springs of water." So he gave her the upper springs and the lower springs. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families. The cities at the limits of the tribe of the children of Judah, toward the border of Edom in the south, were Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kina, Dimona, Adada, Kiddush, Hazor, Itnan, Ziph, Tilim, Bealoth, Hazor, Hedata, Kiriot, Hezron, which is Hazor, Amam, Shema, Molada, Hazar Geda, Heshmon, Beth Peleth, Hazar Shual, Beersheba, Bisjothja, Beela, Ejim, Ezim, Eltolad, Chesil, Horma, Ziglag, Madmana, Sansana, Lebaot Shilhim, Ayin, and Rimmon. All the cities are 29 with their villages. In the lowland, Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanoah, and Gainim, Tapua, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Suko, Azekah, Sherim, Adithaim, Gedera, and Gedorothaim. 14 cities with their villages: Zenan, Hadasha, Migdalgad, Delian, Mizpah, Joktil, Lachish, Boskat, Eglon, Kabon, Lamas, Kitlish, Gederoth, Beth-dagon, Neema, and Makkedah. 16 cities with their villages: Libnah, Ether, Ashan, Jiphthah, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Akzib, and Marisha. 9 cities with their villages: Ekron with its towns and villages, from Ekron to the sea, all that lay near Ashdod with their villages: Ashdod with its town and villages, Gaza with its towns and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt, and the great sea with its coastline. And in the mountain country, Shamir, Jathir, Soko, Dana, Kirjat Sana, which is Debir, Anab, Estemo, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Gilo. 11 cities with their villages: Arab, Duma, Ishan, Janum, Beth Tapua, Afika, Humta, Kirjat Arba, which is Hebron, and Zior. 9 cities with their villages: Maon, Carmel, Zip, Jutha, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah. 10 cities with their villages: Halhul, Bethzur, Gidor, Maarath, Beth-Anoth, and Eltekon. 6 cities with their villages: Kirjat Baal, which is Kirjat Jearim, and Rabbah. 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Beth Araba, Midin, Sekaka, Nibshan, the city of salt, and Jedai. 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem to this day. Chapter 16. The lot fell to the children of Joseph from the Jordan by Jericho, to the waters of Jericho on the east, to the wilderness that goes up from Jericho through the mountains of Bethel, then went out from Bethel to Luz, passed along to the border of the Archites at Atharoth, and went down westward to the boundary of the Japhlethites, as far as the boundary of lower Beth Horon to Gezer, and it ended at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. The border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus: the border of their inheritance on the east side was Atharoth Adar, as far as upper Beth Horon. And the border went out toward the sea on the north side of Mikmethath. Then the border went around eastward to Teanath Shiloh, and passed by on the east of Janohah. Then it went down from Janohah to Atharoth and Nearah, reached to Jericho, and came out at the Jordan. The border went out from Tappuah westward to the brook Cana, and it ended at the sea. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim according to their families. The separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. And they did not drive out the Canaanites who dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites to this day, and have become forced laborers. Chapter 17. There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, namely for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. Therefore he was given Gilead and Bashan. And there was a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh, according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, the children of Helek, the children of Asriel, the children of Shechem, the children of Hefer, and the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, according to their families. But Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but only daughters. And these are the names of his daughters: Mala, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they came near before Eleazar the priest, before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the rulers, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among their father's brothers. 10 shares fell to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side of the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh received an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. And the territory of Manasseh was from Asher to Mikmethath, that lies east of Shechem. And the border went along south to the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. And the border descended to the brook Cana, southward to the brook. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and it ended at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was its border. Manasseh's territory was adjoining Asher on the north and Issachar on the east. And in Issachar and in Asher, Manasseh had Beth-shean and its towns, Ibleam and its towns, the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, the inhabitants of the Anak and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns, 3 hilly regions. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites were determined to dwell in that land. And it happened, when the children of Israel grew strong, that they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but did not utterly drive them out. Then the children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given us only one lot and one share to inherit, since we are a great people, inasmuch as the Lord has blessed us until now? So Joshua answered them, If you are a great people, then go up to the forest country, and clear a place for yourself, there in the land of the Perizzites and the giants, since the mountains of Ephraim are too confined for you. But the children of Joseph said, The mountain country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both those who are of Beth-shean and its towns, and those who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spoke to the house of Joseph, to Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, You are a great people and have great power. You shall not have only one lot, but the mountain country shall be yours. Although it is wooded, you shall cut it down, and its farthest extent shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots and are strong. Friends and relatives, that's all for today. But before I go, if you think my Bible reading will benefit you and your beloved friends, then I would like to request you to please feel free to share it in your profile. In that way, the word of God will spread and be heard from every part of the earth. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you all. To God be the glory, honor, and highest praise. See you on my next Bible reading. Bye-bye.